All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Effortless is the best way to describe the scoring ability of Portland Trailblazers guard Damian Lillard. Lillard is enjoying his best scoring season ever in the NBA as he's currently dropping in 32.3 points per game. This was best illustrated last night when Lillard went for 71 points against the Houston Rockets as he helped the Blazers get the 131 to 114 win. And it was an efficient night for Lillard, to say the least, as he was 22 of 38 shooting, which included going 13 of 22 from beyond the 3-point line. Now, for the month of February, Lillard is averaging 40 points per game. And in those contests where he's scored at least 40, Portland is 3-1 this month. While overall this season, when he's gone for 40 or more, the Blazers are 8-4. And in going off, Lillard had consecutive 41-point games at the beginning of the NBA season, while he went for 50 points on January 12th against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then 60 on January 25th in a win over the Utah Jazz. Now, we've all seen players get into a zone, maybe for a game, maybe a half, or even several games in a row. But the bottom line is Lillard has been in the zone all season long. You're talking about a guy who is one of the better perimeter shooters of this era. And of course, he has a knack for the deep shooting, not just coming up, a foot or two behind the 3-point line. He's known to jack it up from 10 or 15 behind the 3-point line consistently and watch it go in. And in doing so, he's been the face of this Portland Trailblazers franchise for quite some time now. You think about it. In Lillard's 10 years in Portland, the Blazers have made the playoffs in all but two seasons with him on their roster. Now, the Blazers only won 27 games last year, but albeit a lot of that was due to the fact that Lillard was only able to appear in 29 games for Portland due to injury. Now, Lillard has stayed loyal to Portland. Obviously, there have always been people who have been interested to see if Dame time was going to go someplace else and try to get it done. But right now, he wants to continue being a Blazer. And the thing is, he's been loyal to this franchise, but will he ever win an NBA championship there? That's going to be very tough because, it's been his show in Portland since 2016. We saw and we've seen Portland being in contention before. Obviously, things changed after 2016 with the likes of LaMarcus Aldridge leaving town, and Damian Lillard really became the centerpiece, if you will, for that Portland Trailblazers team, and he's been that way ever since. But nonetheless, getting back to last night, it was a very easy 71 points if you saw Damian Lillard play. And if he really wanted to, he really could have pushed the envelope to get 80. But nonetheless, bringing it all back in as far as Portland's overall chances this year, you're looking at a Blazers team right now that they entered play today a half game behind the New Orleans Pelicans for that last spot in the play-in tournament, and they're half game in front of the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers look like they're about ready to make a surge. And then, of course, the news broke about the foot injury to LeBron James, but nonetheless, Portland's in that mix. New Orleans is in that mix. You got Oklahoma City right there, Minnesota. So there's several teams that the Blazers have to contend with. But if Dame can continue to play like this at the level he's played for the majority of the season, the Blazers definitely have an opportunity at the very least to make the play-in tournament. You're talking about a guy in Lillard this season that is shooting more than 47% from the floor. You're also talking about a guy that is making more than 38% of his three-point shots, and he's also coming in and dishing out north of 7 assists per contest as well. But nonetheless, we're talking about a situation where this is a guy who is one of the game's premier shooters right now. This is a guy that I think is slightly underappreciated due to the fact of the market that he plays in. The East Coast people don't get to see him, in those late night games as much. And then, of course, Portland, they've made the playoffs with him, yes, but they don't consistently make those deep runs. We saw the Blazers get to the Western Conference Finals in 2019. But nonetheless, for the most part, it's all about getting to the first round and getting bounced out for the Trailblazers. So let's see what happens with this team under head coach Chauncey Billups this spring. But nonetheless, I do feel that Dame can carry this team to at least a play-in tournament. And if Portland gets into the play-in tournament, I think it's going to be very exciting because Dame is one of those guys. Obviously, he can put a team on his back for a game and go off. Now, once the playoffs start, if Portland were to get that far, obviously it would be a little bit more difficult because in a 7-game series, teams tend to key on you a little bit more defensively. And Dame obviously would have to put this team on his back, but it's one of those where who would step up around him. I know that Anthony Simons is out right now with the injury. The Blazers are hopeful to get him back. And if they can get him back, that could definitely be another complimentary piece to a guy like Dame Lillard. But what we are seeing right now is a tremendous scoring run by a tremendous player. And of course, the cherry on the top, if you will, was the 71 points last night against the Rockets. And I say cherry on top, we still got some time in this regular season. And if the Blazers do play some postseason basketball, the way that Damian Lillard at the age of 32 is playing right now, I still think that he has something special up his sleeve before this season ends. But nonetheless, 71 points in an NBA game is nothing to sneeze at. We saw Dame Lillard do it last night and make it look very easy. He's one of the best players in Portland Trailblazers franchise history. He's one of the best players of this era. And on a game in and game out basis, he is continuing to leave his stamp not only on the game of the NBA, but also Portland Trailblazers basketball. But nonetheless, Dame Lillard is showing you why he is the real deal as far as a scorer. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.